ever meet someone and for a minute, just a minute, you think, maybe this could be something, but then it fades, or then it goes on too long, or it ends with you second guessing your gut again? A lot of women say that they are ready to love, but the truth is, most women haven't really been seen. Really, not in a relationship and not emotionally. And when you've never experienced that kind of honest connection, it's hard to know how to ask for it, and even harder for you to believe that you deserve it. But let me be clear, you are not crazy. You're not asking for too much. But if you're not asking to be seen, you're probably not asking for enough. I'm Davina Dandridge, author of Brains Baubles Do What Works for You and the creator of the Emotional Sophistication Map. This is Brains Baubles Live, where smart women stop shrinking, stop settling, and start living with emotional strategy. So let's talk about love level one and why so many successful and high functioning women keep wasting time with people who were never qualified to love them. Not for real. Attraction isn't the problem for you. You know how to get attention from men. And you've probably had no shortage of men wanting to talk to you. But here's the thing, being wanted is not the same as being valued. Just so you know, I'm not a therapist and I'm not here to diagnose anyone, but I am a woman who's lived. I've studied it, I've taught it, and I've learned how to master emotional intelligence in the real world. And now I share what I know with women who are ready to become who they've always wanted to be. And they want to do it with clarity, with composure, and without doing a performance just to find love. So back to level number one, that surface level attention most of us mistake for relationship potential, right? We start dreaming the moment we meet a guy that checks just a couple of those boxes. And it's flattering, right? Someone sees your beauty, they see your ambition, they see your presence, and they have the conversation with you that you have been waiting to have with a man on your intellectual level. But if all they are attracted to is your packaging, then what they're drawn to isn't really you. It's just the idea of you. And too many women build hope around being admired instead of being understood. That's projection. That's why it feels empty when the attention is constant, but you can't make a real connection with that person because it's not chemistry. Admiration is not intimacy, and surface level chemistry will never carry the emotional weight you've been looking for. This is where I see a lot of women getting stuck. He likes how you look, loves your vibe, thinks you're impressive, but he doesn't know what keeps you up at night. He hasn't earned the access to the parts of you that really matter. And deep down, you know that. But you keep hoping he'll grow into someone who can get to know more about the real you. You want the romance, so that's the risk that you're taking just so that you can find the love that you're looking for. And I get that. In emotional intelligence, we talk about attunement. That's the ability to be emotionally present and responsive to another person. If someone can't understand your mood shifts, or if they can't understand that you need to be quiet sometimes, they can't even see when your energy dips, then they are not attuned to you. They're reacting to the image of you, and they're not interacting with your emotions. And the truth is, you haven't shown him or told him who you really are. And I know that that comes in time, but that's exactly why you feel unseen. Even when you're in the room with the man that you want to be with, just realize that he's not ignoring you on purpose. He just hasn't been given the permission to access that part of you that you really want to share. So let's turn this to self awareness for a second. If you keep attracting low effort or emotionally unavailable connections, you have to ask yourself, am I actually available for a serious relationship? Or am I wearing the mask that makes me feel safe from rejection? And most women wear some mask. Your mask might look like this: the one who's low maintenance, the one who doesn't need much, The one who keeps it light and keeps it fun and never gets too serious. The one who is okay with a casual sexual relationship because you're a grown woman, all right? And then you wonder why no one knows how to love you deeply. Well, it's because you never brought your depth to the table. Luke 12:7 says, even the very hairs of your head are all numbered. Fear not, therefore, ye are of more value than many sparrows. That verse is about God's attentiveness. If God can keep count of your eyelashes, surely the person meant for you should care about your feelings, your boundaries, and your needs. But here's the deeper question. Do you treat your emotions like they're worthy of being tracked, or do you just keep brushing past them? You want to seem unbothered and easy to love. I once coached a client who said every guy that she dated felt emotionally basic. She kept ending up with situations where they didn't ask deep questions about her. They didn't try to get to know anything about her. They didn't follow up after they had some kind of beef or something happened to find a resolution to the conflict or get through a misunderstanding. When we look deeper into her dating life, she was doing the exact same thing, keeping everything upbeat, staying away from vulnerability, avoiding needing anything. Not because she wasn't capable of making a connection, but because she didn't trust that what she was experiencing was real. She thought it was just going to go away, fizzle out, just like the other relationships did. So she never really gave it a chance. She never really became vulnerable or shared that part of her that she wanted that man to see. She wanted someone who could let her live in her softness, but she never brought softness into the room. This is what I want you to hear today. Being ready to be loved starts with being ready to be seen as yourself. But being seen doesn't mean oversharing and asking too many questions in the beginning. It means being emotionally present, telling the truth in real time, not pretending you're fine when something hurts you, not flirting your way through loneliness, hoping that he catches the signal that you're dropping. And then maybe someday he'll make the changes that you want. And while we're here, let's be honest about something that most women don't say out loud. Vulnerability is sexy. It's not a weakness. It's not giving too much too soon. It's your invitation to that real connection. And I'm not saying that you open up everything, you do it bit by bit. And a lot of high functioning women, especially the ones who have been emotionally self reliant for years, they just hide their needs because they're used to doing things by themselves. They start to believe that expressing their emotions will cost them the love that they're looking for. But let me tell you this, vulnerability isn't the problem. Unfiltered access is. You don't have to spill all the beans on the first date. Vulnerability is a gradual thing. But if you're always defaulting to having emotional control, then no one can connect to your heart. They're just reading the list that you have on your resume. I do this. I know how to do that. I've taken care of this. Okay, that's fine, but who are you really inside? Softness is not a personality flaw. You don't have to be tough and hard all the time. It's a strategy when you know how to use it. And I'm not talking about manipulation, I'm just talking about being honest with who you are and the relationships that you want as you're becoming the woman that you've always wanted to be. There's power in allowing someone to see you, not just when you're polished and pleasant, but when you're being honest. You let them experience your emotional reality as it happens. And that doesn't mean oversharing. That means telling the truth, but you do it in small ways. Maybe you say something like, I actually didn't feel heard in that conversation. Or I noticed that I'm holding back right now because I'm used to being the strong one in the relationship. And you could even say something like, I'm still learning how to ask for what I want without apology. That's not doing too much. That's emotional leadership. And the right person won't be scared off by your depth. They'll be drawn in by it. So here's the one thing that you can do today to find out if you're ready to be seen in a relationship. I want you to write down one sentence at the top of the page on your notebook. And I want it to say, where in my last relationship did I silence myself emotionally? And be honest about it. Did you downplay your needs to avoid a conflict? Did you hide your disappointment because you didn't want to seem too dramatic? Did you teach them how to ignore you? And you could do that by pretending that you're okay when you actually aren't. That's the pattern that we're interrupting starting right now. In the next episode of Brains and Baubles Live in this 4-part series, I'm going to break down love level 2, and that's the moment where emotional attachment starts to form. So right now, we're working on you and how you open yourself to be seen. Now, if you've been seen and he's reacting, how does this attachment start to form? And then how to tell if it's real or if you're emotionally negotiating with someone who doesn't even speak your emotional language. So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know what's the one thing you've been afraid to ask for in relationships. You're not hard to love. You're just finally refusing to be loved halfway, and with you doing all of the emotional giving. So let this be the season you stop performing your way into a lackluster connection and start requiring the kind of love that honors your full emotional range. You're not too much. You're not asking for the impossible. You're just ready to be seen and feel free to be yourself in the relationship as a sophisticated and empowered woman.